Hello and a very warm welcome to the great city of Houston. Coming to you live on YouTube, this is the SFL Season 12 Preseason presented by APM Music. Tonight, the Houston Hyenas and Indianapolis Red Devils begin their quest for an SFL championship. The Hyenas looking to one-up a strong performance last season that saw them make it all the way to the semifinals. And Indianapolis is looking to rebound from a tough 3-9 season last year. A fantastic day of SFL preseason action continues right now on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the booth. I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Trujillo, joined here tonight by Lamont Mercer. Lamont, welcome in.
Thank you. It's nice to be doing another game during preseason. It's always fun to see these games play themselves out.
We are down on the field for the coin toss. And it looks like the Red Devils will get the ball first on the road here in Houston. This Houston Hyenas team that went 8-4 last year made it all the way to the semifinals. As we said, looking to do one better. The ball is on the tee. Ryan Adams has his hand in the air. It's game on here in Houston. Return from the 10-yard line to the 20, 25, and down right at the 30-yard line, and that is where Indianapolis will begin on offense. The return that time from Leonidas Richards, the undrafted free agent rookie wide receiver. Let's run you through the Indianapolis offense. The quarterback is the number 7th pick in the draft, T.D. Drew. The running back is Keith Swearingen. The wide receivers are Hunter Jones and Trevor Farrell. And Leonidas Richards, the tight end, is Dan Daly. They'll set up from the 30-yard line in all white tonight with red socks and shoulders. And on first down, Drew will dump it off to Swearingen, and Swearingen will pick up 5 yards off the left side. Opposing them tonight is the Houston defense, consisting of safeties Eddie Gage and Tristan Hatley, corners Paul Rubens and Everett Garrison, linebackers B.J. Lovelace and Rodney Panatti, and on the defensive line is Chad Tackle. Second down and 5 from the Indianapolis 35. Red Devils going left to right in this first quarter. Delayed handoff to Swearingen, and Swearingen will pound his way forward. Close to a first down, he'll pick up 3 yards. 3rd and 2 coming up from the 38. And Levant, it's been an exciting preseason. We've had marathon overtime games. We've had a lot of close ones. These teams, they really seem to be going at it here in the preseason.
Yeah, they are. They don't seem to take these games as just preseason games. They want to take every game seriously.
I formation on 3rd and 2. Houston stacking the box, anticipating a Swearingen run, but it's going to be a throw out to the near side, and it's knocked away. Good pass defense there. That was Everett Garrison, the rookie, 15th pick in the draft at 6'3", 210. Stretching his long arms up there to knock the ball away and forcing a punt out of Jake D'Antonio. Also want to give a special shout out to Lee Pato, who's helping us out tonight in the booth with stats. So a 3 and out for the Red Devils as D'Antonio kicks from his own 25. And on the return, to be put down right at his own 25, is Leroy Brown, the second-year man. Came over from New Orleans in the offseason. Let's get you through the rest of the Houston offense. The quarterback is Kentez Johnson. The running back is Warren Murray. The wide receivers are Leroy Brown and D.R. Sim. Tight end, Yassine Clifton. They will start for their own 25. Black helmets, red jerseys, black shoulders, white pants, and black socks tonight. Going right to left across your radio dial in the first quarter. Johnson stands in, now forced to run, and he's just going to throw it away.
Quite honestly, this is what made him one of the best quarterbacks to come out of last year's draft class. He has the poise that you want to see out of a quarterback, and also Johnson there understanding he had nowhere to go with the ball and threw it away smartly.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10, and the big theme for both of these teams coming into the season is there's been a decent amount of change on both rosters, and I'm sure we'll get to that throughout the night. As Johnson looks to throw on 2nd and 10, plenty of time. Now he steps up in the pocket, pressure from behind, and down he goes. He's going to lose 3 yards as the sack comes through for Indianapolis.
There's just nothing developing downfield.
Brian Jagger picks up the coverage sack, and you're right, Levant, that was really made possible by the fantastic secondary of the Indianapolis defense, and if this doesn't pan out, this 3rd and 13 will have to get to them on their next defensive series. Johnson stands in, he's pressured, and he goes down. There is a flag, MeUndies laundry on the field for the first time tonight. But it looks to be another coverage play, and we'll see what the flag is.
Ineligible receiver, number 69.
And it's an ineligible receiver against the Hyenas, and it's going to be 4th down for Houston.
Yep, it seems to be when the guard decided to raise his hands up to try to catch the ball. The refs decided to call him a receiver at that point and, piled on the misery.
So now a pair of 3 and outs. The defenses win the battle early on in the game, and now Brian Adams will come on to punt, standing back at his own 5-yard line. He will get it away from his own 10. This is going to be decent position for the Red Devils. Returned by Tanner Hendricks, the corner, playing special teams up to the 44. And, yeah, I know there's no real strategies here. The teams aren't showing their full hand before the season. But if you were going to give each team a key to victory tonight, what would it be?
Well, for Indianapolis, they're going to have to give Swearingen a lot of the ball to give, to ease the pressure off of Drew.
Like here, Swearingen along the left side. He'll grab 4 yards before he's brought to the ground.
And as for Houston, they're going to rely upon... They know that their veteran defense is going to give Indianapolis a lot of trouble, so on offense, they're just going to have to make sure that they score points to make sure the defense stays fresh and off the field.
1 receiver each side for Indianapolis on 2nd down. It's another give to Swearingen, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good job up front by the D-line, especially Elvis Cooper for Houston, who came up and made the tackle. Interesting for Indianapolis, they only return 2 starters on offense. That's tight end Dan Daly and running back Keith Swearingen. Everybody else is new, either a rookie or came over from another team in the offseason. Here on 3rd and 6, going down the field, knocked away. Great defense. Everett Garrison makes his 2nd 3rd down stop of the game, and it's going to be another 3 and out for the Red Devils.
Well, James Richards is a very savvy dude. He had understood that he just had to make a lot of changes on offense, the offense that wasn't working last season under Pepper and co. And brought in a quarterback, they brought in veteran receivers, they moved Daly to tight end. I like how it's shaping up.
But so far, nothing doing for either offense as Jake D'Antonio punts it away, again trying to pin the Hyenas deep from the 15-yard line. The return from Leroy Brown is only up to the 18, so the Red Devils winning the field position battle so far in this first quarter. Quick chat shout-outs. Carey and Miller, Plague 7, T.Y. Wilkes, B.J. Lovelace, and everybody else watching us tonight on the SFL Network on YouTube. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us, and frankly, spending all day of your Sunday with us. This is the 4th of 5 games on the SFL Network today. Off the left side, running free after the pitch. 9 and change yards on the run for Warren Murray, his first carry of the day.
Well, they started using him more and more towards the end of the season, and you can see why right there, because once he has the edges sealed off of those wonderful blocks off the edge there, you just know he's probably off to the races.
Looks like Indianapolis wants to bring the house here and try and stop them on 2nd. It inches the ball almost across the line. Delayed handoff to Warren Murray, and the defense is all over it. Great solo tackle in the hole. I couldn't quite see who that was. It was Paul Connolly. Safety blitz works to perfection.
You saw a lot of that out of Connolly last season. He no longer has Blake Craze in front of him to help him out, but he made a lot of solo tackles on himself, and he's very good at stopping the run.
Another handoff Murray on 3rd and 2, and he's got the first down and more. Off the right side, bouncing off of tackles past the 35 up to the 37-yard line. And Warren Murray says, hey, I'll do it myself this time.
Now that right there is just all him this time. With when you have that much space. Oh, when there's Connolly right there, we just talked about him, and he just gets wrecked there. But you know, when you give Murray that much space, there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Only one returning, or only, I'm going to start that again. Everybody on the Indianapolis defense is back except Craze. He was replaced by Tanner Hendricks coming over from Tallahassee. Another delayed handoff to Murray. He's going to lose 2 yards. This time Ryan Wall, the linebacker, came up and laid the hit.
Now, speaking about that, also Indianapolis has changed their staff structure, putting Hendricks as I think GM. They have Temple helping out with coaching. They have what else? They had I'll get back to that.
2nd down and 12. Johnson, first throw of the drive. He's got a complete underneath to... couldn't tell who made that catch. That was Yassine Clifton, the tight end, with his first contribution of the game. He'll pick up just 3 yards.
They also added Farrell to their staff. That's the one I was not quite remembering.
Yeah, a lot of teams, like we covered Denver earlier in the weekend, and now Indianapolis, teams that underperformed, frankly, last season as Johnson stands in, throws over the middle, complete across the 50 and down to the Indianapolis 42. There is Leroy Brown making his first catch of the game, the rookie showing off the hands.
There's big, bad Leroy Brown coming down, and just look at this. Wonderful pass that just absolutely severed the defense there with that pass. So great connection there from Johnson to Leroy Brown.
Would you say he went to town on the Indianapolis defense?
Yes, I would.
1st and 10 in Indianapolis territory for the 42. Another underneath pass is picked off. It's intercepted this time by Von Senyuk, and the Indianapolis defense takes the ball away.
Well, that's what he's known for, isn't he? He'll just come in and swoop and take. Doesn't care what you did on the last play. Senyuk just treats every down as a new opportunity to make a play, and that's what he did right there.
And that was deflected in the air by Ryan Wall, who made a great hit on Warren Murray earlier in the drive. So good stop for the Indianapolis defense to get the ball back and look to put together their first good offensive series. And Keith Swearingen's got the first down of the game for Indianapolis right there. He'll get 14 yards up to the Indianapolis 49.
Both running backs have been doing a great job so far today. The Swearingen just hits the hole with such aplomb, and there he goes again. Looks like 99 just overran his man, committed to the play, and let Swearingen just bust through.
And again, Everett Garrison made the tackle. He's made 2 big pass deflections on 3rd down, and now a possible touchdown-saving tackle there. And now Swearingen's going to get the ball again. Right side spin move. He's going to get 7 yards before he's finally driven to the ground at the Houston 44.
You could see a couple of the Houston defenders trying to catch their breath just now. You saw 98 right there just trying to catch his breath, and that's something that this running attack will do to you often, tire you out.
98, that's Chad Tackle on the Houston defensive line. Drew under center. He'll throw this time, swing it out near side. That pass is complete. Hunter Jones makes his first catch as a Red Devil after coming over from Oklahoma City in the offseason, picks up a first down of the Houston 40.
Yeah, Indianapolis is one of these teams that did radically change their offense. London is another, Vancouver is another. We'll try to see how these new additions affect how they play as the season goes on.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the left offset. Swearingen gets the ball running up the middle, and he'll get 3 yards. Chad Tackle in on the stop. Elvis Cooper was there as well. And this is more like it for Indianapolis after their first couple of drives ended in disappointment. They're riding the swear engine machine all the way into Houston territory. Second down and 7 at the Houston 37. 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go and counting first quarter. Thank you for joining us tonight on the SFL presented by APM Music. Season 12 preseason on YouTube. Short drop for Drew. He'll swing it outside to Swear Engine. And Swear Engine will get back to the line of scrimmage before being tackled right there. And no gain on the play.
That's just another way that they want to employ him. You know, they want to have him go out, swing out to the outside and catch a couple passes and try to break runs open out off the edges there too.
Now 3rd and 7. Drew in the shotgun on 4 wide. He's going to swing it out to Swear Engine. They tried the little trickery play, but the defense was having none of it. Elvis Cooper into the backfield and all over Keith Swear Engine.
We spoke about it in our other game this week, that pitch plays don't often work, and we see why right there. You know, the sheer just speed and power of these front 7 guys in the league just absolutely don't allow for those types of plays to develop.
3rd punt of the day for Jake D'Antonio. He's going to look to try and pin Houston deep in their own zone. He'll punt from his own 45-yard line. Ball hangs in the air. It bounces around the 10. Down to the 5, and down to the 5-yard line. Great special teams coverage there by Indianapolis.
I'm not sure if he needed a roll there, but hey, whatever makes sure it's where it's at works.
Now Houston will set up in the shadow of their own end zone. They're starting at their own 5-yard line in the black helmets, red jerseys, gold trim, and white pants tonight going right to left across your radio dial. A minute 54 left to go in the first quarter. Handoff goes to Warren Murray. He's driven backwards after a gain of only 1.
At that time, they just forced them inside, and there was absolutely nothing that Murray could do. He tried to bounce it back to the. He tried to cut back, and Wall just wouldn't let him.
I did not officially ever go over either defense, so I'll get to that in a minute here. After this 2nd down and 9 from the 6-yard line. Johnson changing the play. Delayed handoff and driven backwards is Warren Murray back to the 3. Defense all over that play. James Dunn made the tackle.
Well, when you know that the other team is backed up against their own goal line like that, I mean, you might as well blitz everyone. That was just almost an engage 8. Wouldn't it be exactly 8? It was just a full linebacker blitz there.
4 wide. 3rd down at 11. They're going to pitch it. Oh, it's almost a safety as Warren Murray loses another yard. Back to the 2-yard line. 4th and 13. And Brian Adams is going to be punting out of his own end zone. Another stop that time by Eric Riley as the defensive line for Indianapolis is all over the O-line for Houston so far tonight.
You would think they would just saw the pitch play that didn't work. They tried it themselves and almost had tragedy strike.
This is going to be a fantastic field position for the Red Devils. They're going to start in Houston territory. They're going to start at the Houston 32 after the return by Richards. Oh, forgive me, that's Tanner Hendricks on the return. So, perfect opportunity for Indianapolis to take the lead. We're coming to the end of the first quarter. It's just 20 seconds to go now. And since I never went over the Indianapolis defense, I didn't get a chance. Here they are. Safety, Steve Vitak, Paul Connolly, and Zach Andrews. Corners, Von Senyek and Tanner Hendricks. Defensive tackle, E.Z. Temple. 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. Offset eye, 2 receivers left, single right. Here's Swearingen up the middle, down a hole, and he's finally driven back after a gain of 6 yards. Tackle on the play by Rodney Panani. And while I'm at it, here's the Houston defense. Safeties, Tristan Hatley and Eddie Gage. Corners, Paul Rubens and Everett Garrison. Linebackers, B.J. Lovelace and Rodney Panani. Defensive tackle is Chad Tackle. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score between the Red Devils of Indianapolis and the Hyenas of Houston. This is the SFL Season 12 preseason presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Michael Travello, Levant Mercer, Lee Pato on stats here from the Hyenas Den in Houston as Indianapolis, it looks to go up on the board first here. Swearingen right up the middle, no running room, but he stays on his feet. Now he finds this hole, and he gets a first down up to the Houston 21.
That right there is just a great display of some tough running there. You almost thought it was broken in the backfield there, but you know, he just shifted all the way, made a great cut back to the right side, and had a good run there.
Here is Drew, back to pass, flares it out, Swearingen on the outside, and he had one man to beat and he couldn't do it. Driven backwards by Paul Rubens, first time I've called his name tonight, and he makes a big impact at 2nd and 10.
So last season for Swearingen, he had 1,022 yards on 258 carries and 6 rushing touchdowns.
A good season on a team that only went 3-9, and laundry on the field, sponsored by MeUndies, as the Houston Hyenas jump. The pass was out of bounds, intended for Hunter Jones, but they won't care as Chad Tackle jumped off sides.
Yeah, well, when you have free plays like that, you might as well take your chances.
Number 98, defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 5 from the Houston 16, and with a game as defensive as this one has been, Indianapolis squarely in field goal range. Sure, you'd love the touchdown, but I think you would take the field goal even here.
You know, in a game like this, you'd take any points. You know what you would prefer, but you would take anything. You just wouldn't take a takeaway here.
2 receivers right, none to the left. Here's a handoff to Swearingen, and it's almost blown up in the backfield. Yes, a shoestring tackle. Great move to save the play by Carter Haley. It almost looked like Swearingen was going to break the tackle and have open space to the end zone, but he dragged him down by his ankles.
You got to respect that play there. Too many times those types of tackles get broken. He didn't give up on the play at all.
Now 3rd and 5 from the Houston 17. 4 wide, nobody in the backfield. Here's Drew going for the end zone, and it's incomplete. It's knocked away, intended for Trevor Farrell. Guess who? Everett Garrison again got his hand up to knock it down.
Well, you just see here, once again, my favorite thing to say is if you can stay in front of the receiver, you can stay in front of the play, and that's what he did right there. Farrell had absolutely no space.
And now, Adam Vinchek is on to attempt the field goal for Indianapolis. It's going to be, well, let's say, a 34-yarder. Snap good, hold down, kick on the way. And it's right down Main Street from 33 yards. And Indianapolis takes a 3-0 lead. 8:51 to go, 2nd quarter here from Houston. Red Devils 3, Hyenas nothing. This is the SFL preseason presented by APM Music on YouTube. And they were set up in really good field position there, Levant, but still an impressive drive to score the first points of the game for the Red Devils.
Yes, as what you just want out of a drive like that is points. You know you would have wanted 7, but Houston's defense is really tough, and as long as you come away with points and not a takeaway, like I said earlier, you're doing fine.
And here comes the return out to the 30-yard line. On the return is Josh Fedd. He's been returning kicks in Houston for a number of seasons now. And Houston has shown that they have offensive potential with Warren Murray. And their longest drive was stalled by an interception, but these Hyenas have fangs and they're not afraid to use them. They're going left to right in the 2nd quarter. They'll start at their own 30-yard line. Johnson under center, 2 in the backfield, and a receiver each side. Kentes Johnson hit as he throws, and the ball hits the turf. Once again, little to no time in the pocket as James Dunn was all over him.
Yeah, but that's what you got to do. You know he's one of the better young quarterbacks in this league, but you know you still got to come after him. He's only in his sophomore season, so you know he's still going to have a bit of those jitters. And he had them in his playoff game, and that right there, once again, you just, you know, he had a little bit of happy feet and he let himself get hit there.
4 wide on 2nd and 10. Johnson going to swing it out to Murray, who bobbled the ball. It's a fumble. It's ruled a fumble, a scramble for the football right at the line of scrimmage. Who's got it? And it looks like Houston will hang on to the ball as Warren Murray dove on his own fumble.
I don't really believe that was a fumble in the first place. Do you think he had? I do not really think he had possession of the ball. Really
maybe
dumb.
Maybe they said it was a backwards pass. Either way, it's 3rd down and 11. Johnson back to pass, immediately pressure, gets the pass away downfield. It's caught in between 2 defenders, up to midfield. What a catch, and it's Leroy Brown who's been the main receiving workhorse for Houston so far tonight.
There he is again. Just look at this pass, just severing the defense once again. And if it was like 1 second too late, Brown would have been decked. You got to really give it up to Johnson with that pass there.
Johnson threads the needle, and Brown picks up big yardage at the Houston 49-yard line. They'll go 2 receivers left, single right. Johnson under center. Johnson this time has plenty of time to the near side. That pass is complete. Leroy Brown again for 3 yards.
Well, this is just really what Houston wants to do. As long as you methodically go down the field, take some of the time away, probably can even come out of this quarter with the lead, and that's all you want out of this half.
7:36 to go and counting remaining in the half. Interesting that they didn't stop the clock from going out of bounds there. As here's a flare out to Murray. This time he makes a catch with one hand and scampers down the far sideline. 1st down to the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards.
You know, Murray has some hands too. I mean, just because he made a mistake on the first attempt of that pass there doesn't mean he can't do this. Look at it again. One-handed, making up for it. Big here.
And I love the effort by Travis Smith, the offensive tackle, who ran out to try and put a block on the Indianapolis defender, but just ended up kind of making a fool of himself as he was running behind Warren Murray. Picked up the 1st down anyway, inside Indianapolis territory for the 2nd time tonight, at the 40-yard line. Johnson, 2-step drop, looking, and he goes down again. They're going to say his arm was going forward as EZ Temple buried him to the turf.
You know, EZ Temple is like one of the most underrated defensive tackles in this league. You know, he might not be Fats or Alex Dominguez, but he really gets in there and puts in a lot of work for them.
Now 2nd and 10, single receiver each side. Warren Murray low to the backfield behind Johnson. Everybody on the line for Indianapolis, but they only rush 5, and this time it's flipped out, and DR Tim makes a great catch and gets a 1st down to the Indianapolis 23.
Did anybody get him his shirt off the podium yet? Because I think sometimes we forget he's even on the field. But look, this man's a Hall of Famer. Look at this man. Just look at the majesty of this man. Look at this. I want you to understand how badly he burnt his man there. He didn't even know where he was. Who was that sticking him? It doesn't matter because he's gone.
Inside post route run to perfection from the wily veteran DR Sim, and now 1st down and 10, just shy of the red zone of the 23. Johnson to the shotgun. He takes the snap, throws it out to the near side. That pass is complete. Give it to Josh Fed. And he'll pick up 6 yards down to the 18, and now they are into the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone for the 1st time tonight.
You really got to say something about Kentez Johnson here. Remember, last season, he took an almost perfect completion percentage down to the very end of the 4th quarter in a game once.
That is Johnson pass underneath. They're going to get 2 yards this time. Pass picked up by Clint Wiggins, the tight end. And now a 3rd down and 2. Basically anything's possible. You can run with Murray. You can have Johnson throw a corner or a fade. And, you know, if you're Indianapolis, it's going to be tough to defend this. They've got a lot of men in the box here. I formation looking like maybe you're going to be trying to get it with a run, but no, it's going to be a pass. Johnson stands in over the middle. That pass is complete down inside the 5 and down to the 7-yard line. Big catch there. Yassine Clifton rumbling down inside the 10.
You know, he used to do that a lot for Alaska, but here in Houston, he's done much the same. Last season, he was a very important factor for them, and here you just see what he brings you over the middle. Tough yards there.
Johnson changes the play at the line. 1st and goal from the 7. Once again, Indianapolis' defense stacking the box, but they only rush 4 this time. And going to the end zone is Johnson, intercepted! It was batted in the air by Von Seniuk, and intercepted in the end zone, and points off the board for Houston. Ryan Wall brings down the pick.
Oh, that's a bit of teamwork right there. Let's look at this again. Just, hey, here you go, buddy. There you go. Nice. Gotta love it.
And the presence of mind by Senyak, not to just bat that ball to the turf, but to know that his man was behind him and ready to intercept it. What a play by Senyak, and now Indianapolis maintains the 3-0 lead, has the ball back at their own 20. Drew over the middle. That pass is complete down the seam. Give him 14 yards. Big play complete to Trevor Farrell.
I gotta look at the pressure that's coming down. Well, look at Farrell just absolutely dominate this man for a second. Just absolutely shreds him off the line there. But you also got to give it up to TD Drew, because there was a lot of pressure coming down on his face, and for him to see the slant like that right after he broke, that's wonderful play by the rookie there.
First and 10 at the Indianapolis 34. Drew over the middle. That pass is complete. Give him 5 yards. And the reception by number 88. That's Dan Daly making a catch out of the tight end spot. Played wide receiver last season. Bulked up and goes to tight end this year and making an impact on that play. Now 2nd and 5. Offset I. Behind Drew, and Swearingen is going to get the ball. He's going to escape one tackler. He's going to escape another tackler, and he's got the speed. Go down the side. He's going to get away. Nobody's going to catch him. 15, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Keith Swearingen, a statement touchdown.
Keith Swearingen hitting him with the K-Swiss here. Look at him right here, just breaking ankles like, whoop. Where did I go? Goodbye. See ya. Home run. Out of here. And there he goes. Gone.
He came to a complete stop in the middle of the run, then cut to the outside. That is amazing patience by the second-year Indianapolis running back.
He's quite literally the little engine that could.
Adam Vinchek out on to do the extra point. And that is a little bit of a high snap, but it is corralled and put through. So with 3:55 to go in the first half, Indianapolis takes a 10-0 lead. Courtesy of a long Keith Swearingen run. Indianapolis 10, Houston nothing. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Remember to download the ScoreStream app from the iTunes or Android App Store to receive live score updates from the SFL, the league's official live scoring partner, where you can cheer, chat, and most importantly, stay up to date on all the fast-paced action. And the action has certainly been fast-paced here tonight and throughout the day, as this is the 4th of 5 SFL preseason games on the Simulation FL Network on YouTube tonight. Remember, coming up after this one, it's Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson in Atlanta as the bridesmaid, never the bride, Tallahassee Pride take on the Atlanta Swarm. That's 9 o'clock Central Time. Now Houston, after 2 interceptions, they're down 10-0. They got to get it together here. First down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 3:50 to go until the break. Good pass out there. Oh, and DR Sims going down the sideline. He broke free, and it's finally gang tackled all the way across midfield down to the Indianapolis 38. He's got 50 yards on his 2 catches tonight.
You honestly cannot leave him on an island by himself. Let's look at VTAC here. It was just absolutely blasted by Sim on that play. You can't leave your one lone safety up on top of him like that. That's just not what you want to do. And especially when on that play, it was the corner that was left by himself.
To VTAC's credit, he did get back and make the tackle along with Von Senyak. First down into Indianapolis territory after only 1 play. Here's Warren Murray on a screen, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more, as he's gobbled up by Paul Connolly.
A little bit too aggressive on that screen there. You saw what the defense wanted to do, but you know, good on Houston to at least get that back to the line of scrimmage.
I formation, 2nd down and 10. Defense crimps up to defend the run here. but it's going to be a throw. And it's going to be a screen. Grabbed by Clifton, and Clifton rumbles down the near sideline. He'll pick up 6 yards. A little bit of trickery goes a long way, and it's now 3rd and manageable for Houston.
Well, that's something I've not ever really seen. I've never really truly seen a tight end put out on a screen like that. But when it's someone like you've seen Clifton, you know he's got the legs to run, and you know he's got the strength to push through tacklers. So I understand it. It's just, quite honestly, the first time I've ever seen a designed tight end screen.
Well, he did shove Tanner Hendricks out of the way en route to that 6-yard gain. Now 3rd and 4. Johnson to throw. Pocket collapsing. He goes out to the far side. That pass is complete. First down. DR Sim again coming in clutch.
So that right there is just a play call against a play call. You can't, sometimes the defense just picks the wrong coverage for a play, and that's what happened. They went into a cover 2, then it covered a flat, and you can't ever leave DR Sim alone like that.
If that pass had been maybe a little bit more in front of Sim, then he might have been going all the way to pay dirt. But for now, it's 1st and 10 for Houston for the Indianapolis 26. A really fast, efficient drive as going down the field towards the end zone. It's knocked away. Diving play. Tanner Hendricks knocks the pass away.
Probably getting a little too confident with how he's been dividing the defense earlier. That was a throw that he shouldn't have made. Threw into triple coverage there. Don't know what he saw, but there was just no window for him to get that ball in.
2nd and 10 for the Indianapolis 26. Great stat for DR Sim. He's been thrown 2-3 times. He's made 3 catches and has 55 yards. Unbelievable in this first half for the veteran. 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the first. Delayed handoff to Murray. He shrugs off a tackler. He shrugs off 2 tacklers. And will get 6 yards before he's brought to the ground. Combination of the safeties, Steve Vitak and Paul Connolly brought him down.
That was a big issue that Indianapolis had last season. They were near the bottom of the league in run defense, and you could see why right there. Sometimes, no matter that they had 2 men or 3 men converging up onto the ball, sometimes they just couldn't wrap up their guy, and it didn't matter how many they sent.
We have reached the quip 2-minute warning here in the first half. Indianapolis still leads Houston 10-0, but the Hyenas trying to change that before the break. And now a 3rd down and 4. Johnson, sidearm over the middle, caught by Sim, down to the 10-yard line. Back into the SFL, presented by AP Music Red Zone. And it's not Sim. It's a great catch on the play, but it's Josh Fed picking that one up.
Fed's actually one of the more consistent, undervalued receivers in this league. Sometimes you don't throw expecting them to catch it, but sometimes those guys really do something for you.
First down and goal from the 10-yard line. Johnson, a long drop, throws to the corner of the end zone to double coverage. He was looking for DR Sim, and he threw it well in front of him. Is Martin and Easy Temple clashing after the play. Obviously, something went on down in the trenches that we didn't see.
Those guys really love to jaw jack down there. When you're down there in the trenches like that, you say a lot of things you shouldn't say.
All right, 2nd and goal from the 10. After the failed pass to the back of the end zone, Johnson to throw again. Plenty of time. Swings it to Murray. Murray with some running room. Down to the 5. Kyle drives through. He can't quite get to the end zone. Driven out by Connolly and Hendricks at the 2.
Just gotta look at this right here. Just the battle right there at the pylon. Murray almost shredded off one of those tackles, but luckily, Hendricks came to save his buddy there.
He was 3-on-1 down at the near sideline, and I even thought there was a chance he might go into the end zone against all 3 of them. He was stopped at the 2. 3rd down and goal now. Johnson, delayed handoff. Murray up the middle. Not gonna get there. He even lost a yard on the play as Blake Colt, along with some other Indianapolis defenders, came up and got the hit. And now, do they go for it here, or do they send out the field goal unit? They will send out the field goal unit. David Griffin doing the kicking.
Just honestly don't understand why you would go for a draw there.
Under a minute to go in the first half of play. Houston looking to get on the board. The chip shot 20-yard field goal here. Kick is up, and it's good from 19. Houston gets on the board. 34 seconds to go, second quarter. Indianapolis leads Houston 10-3. This is the SFL, presented by APM Music, Season 12, preseason on YouTube. Quick chat shout-outs. Gooner Bear, Cape, Carrion Miller, Warren Murray, Eddie Gage, BJ Loveless, the Pikachu of Texas, and everybody else watching on the SFL Network on YouTube tonight. Thank you for joining us. Hey, I got a Snicker out of LeVon.
No, just me opening one. No, don't worry about me here. I'm good.
30 seconds to go, and do Indianapolis try to extend their lead, or do they just run it up the middle and go to the locker room here?
Quite honestly, knowing Richards are probably going to play it safe and just take it to the half, but who knows? It's preseason. Anything can happen.
Look like they're set up in a run-style play, but they are going to throw. Drew hit as he throws the ball. Almost was intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of Paul Rubens, right in front of the defensive line. And that's what you don't want to happen if you go for it with under a minute left.
That's probably why I said they should just take it to the half, because, you know, rookie quarterback, you know, sometimes you get people to try to do something they shouldn't, and that's what happened right there.
Second and 10 from the 27 seconds left to go, first quarter. Here's a pitch to Swearingen, has a running room, makes a spin move. They're not going to call a timeout. 20 seconds to go. They are going to hurry to the line. Third down and 3. Handoff, Swearingen driven backwards and dropped by Chad. Tackle for a loss of 3. And that will bring us to the end of the first half. Clock hits 0, and the teams will go to the locker room. The score at halftime: Indianapolis Red Devils 10, Houston Hyenas 3. It's been a defensive battle deep in the heart of Texas tonight. We'll be back after the break. This is the SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Hyena Den Park Stadium in Houston. Preseason action in the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music and the build-up to Season 12. Indianapolis 10, Houston 3. The scoreboard is currently incorrect, so I will continually update you on the score. Houston will get the ball to open the second half. Michael Cirillo, Levant, Mercer, Lee Potto on stats tonight, here with you deep in the heart of Texas, as the defenses have shown up in mid-season form. The offenses, Levant, not so much, as Josh Fedd returns up to the 34-yard line.
I mean, it's one of those games where big plays have defined most of the offense, and the stats are a bit misleading. But quite honestly, they're just shaking the rust off. And I do understand that they're not employing their full strategy, so it's hard to really gauge how lethargic or how conservative they're actually being.
Indianapolis starts the game from their own 34. Warren Murray off the left side. Shakes one tackle, can't shake the second. He's hit by Von Senyek and dropped 21 on 21. The number battle there. Indianapolis in the all-white with red shoulders, numbers, and socks. And Houston in the home black helmets, red jerseys, white pants, black socks, and gold trim. Houston working right to left in this third quarter. 2nd and 10 from their own 34. Johnson changes the play at the line. Short drop, throws out to the far side. One-handed catch, and then driven out of bounds after a gain of 6. Good play there by Josh Fed, making another catch.
It was one of those passes you got to bail your quarterback get out of, and Fed did a great job there. Ball was a little bit in front of him, but he outstretched that one hand to make the grab. There's been a lot of great effort so far this preseason by all these teams.
Offset eye, Murray straight up the middle, close to a first down, but can't get there. 4th and inches as the defense holds for Indianapolis. Tackles by Steve Vitak and a host of other white jerseys. And here comes Adams on the punt. And that's what I meant at the opening of the second half by the defenses have came to play. They've been making plays like that on both sides of the ball all night long so far. Adams punts from his own 30. And fielded at the 16-yard line and up to the 21. Almost immediately tackled was Tanner Hendricks, and Indianapolis going to start deep in their own zone.
You gotta really see, that's the exact reason why I would like to see more return men just call for the fair catch, because he got decked there.
I formation with a single receiver on each side on 1st and 10. From the 21-yard line, going to the left to right across your radio dial. Swearingen on first down will get pummeled right at the line of scrimmage. Big tackle by Chad Tackle.
It's actually 3rd in Pro Bowl voting last season behind Dominguez and Fats. And he has put in a lot of work down there in the trenches for Houston.
A single receiver each side again, but they'll lose the I formation this time. On 2nd and 10, TD Drew to throw. Drew, plenty of time now, running out of time. Throws it downfield, it's caught! And off to the races! There he goes! Brick house inside the opponent 30, flipping the field to the Houston 26.
You got to love the effort on this play by Drew. Look at him standing in the pocket. He understands where the pressure's coming from. He knew when to lock and load the ball. And just absolutely just watch this here. Look at all the speed from the unknown man here. Just, there's a lot of players with speed on this team, it seems.
The tight end rolling down the field. And completely sold Tristan Hatley on the fake in his route as well. This time Drew rolls out, throws to the near side. Pass complete for 5 yards. Give Hunter Jones 5 more. 2nd, and that many coming up.
They didn't really give Drew a lot of the ball or a lot of faith in the first half, and they're now probably come out with a new look on offense now that they figured out what it is they want to do with him.
2nd and 5 from the 21. Talk about a quick drive. This is only the 5th play in it. They've gone from their own 26 to the opponent 21. Handoff, Swearingen spins, then gets hit in the hole and picks up 2 yards.
That right there just looks like they gave Chad Tackle all the work to do. They just left him alone on the line there. Everyone seemed to drop back and gave Swearingen so much room to run.
Offset I, 3rd and 3. Maybe a heavy dose of Swearingen here, but it's going to be Drew to throw. Drew flips it out to the far side. That pass is complete, and it's a fullback getting the first down. 42, Glad House. I'm assuming that's the brother of Brick House. who got the first down there inside the SFL, presented by APM Music. Red zone to the 12-yard line. Good to see the fullbacks getting some love in a team other than Alaska. Here's a handoff. Swearingen cuts up the middle, makes a cut, makes a swim move, gets a first down inside the 2. What a move by Swearingen, and he almost broke free for a touchdown.
Well, that's one way to make yourself skinny right there. Just absolutely just shifted planes of existence here. Just look here. Phase in, whoop, phase out. There he goes.
Went right by Rodney Panani, who seemed to have a beat on him. 1 second he was there, the other second he was behind him, and Paul Rubens had to come up and make a big stop. But now a goal line stand coming up here for the Houston Hyenas. Here's Swearingen off the left side. He's going to walk into the end zone untouched. Put it on the board, and a dance move for Swearingen in Indianapolis.
Well, you just got to look here. They all guessed to the right, and he went left, and that's all there was to it. Defense just guessed wrong on which side he was going there.
Swearingen, both touchdowns for Indianapolis tonight on the ground. He's having himself a good preseason game. Adam Finchek comes on to try the extra point. And it looks like Indianapolis knows what to do to be successful. It's feed the engine. Extra point good. Score with 6:46 to go in this evening's third quarter. Indianapolis 16, Houston 3. This is the SFL preseason presented by APM Music on YouTube. And Levant, Houston has looked good on offense, but they haven't been able to finish drives. And what do they have to do to get back into this game?
Well, you basically said it right there. They just have to find a way to capitulate the end of the drive with a score. Now, their red zone offense has been a little, lethargic and anemic.
Up to the 29-yard line goes Josh Fed. And they haven't done much outside of a couple long drives to get him to Indianapolis territory, and they've thrown 2 picks and then been settled for a field goal. So not the most efficient night for Kentez Johnson. And they'll start for 4 wide, empty backfield. Johnson in the gun. Johnson fires out near side, and it's incomplete. He led DR Sim too far, and he caught it out of bounds.
So the key, honestly, for Houston is when they do get into the red zone, they just need to pick more efficient plays and not run, stuff like draw plays to try to catch the defense off guard when there's really no chance that Indianapolis is going to think you're going to pass there.
Now they'll go back to a more conservative formation on 2nd and 10, offset I, receiver each side. Here's Warren Murray, and the defense is all over it. There was no protection for the running back as he was swarmed underneath of Blake Colt and Von Senyuk.
That right there is why you send 2 men to take out 1 sometimes.
And now a different look from Houston from what we've normally seen tonight. A trips left, single right on 3rd and 13. Johnson, plenty of time, goes down the middle, one-on-one coverage, and the catch is made. Past midfield and the 40, down to the 38-yard line. It's Josh Fed. He has been a workhorse tonight, and he picks up a huge chunk of yards and keeps the drive alive.
Hey, if it's not broke, why fix it? Look at that. Corner on the blitz. Left him all alone on the fade there, and that was it for him.
Paul Connolly just could not keep up with the speed of Josh Fed, and that's why he returns kicks for Houston, because he's got some track speed when he gets into open space. Now, Houston setting up inside the Indianapolis zone for the 4th time today. We mentioned earlier what happened the previous 3 times they've been here. Johnson, under pressure, gets it away underneath. He'll pick up 3 yards over the middle to DR Sim.
Well, that right there is the more types of efficient plays I want to see. I would like to see them run a more West Coast style the closer they get to the red zone to make sure that these passes at least get, caught and completed.
They gave Sim 4 yards on the previous play. Now 2nd down and 6. 4 wide, nobody in the backfield. Johnson, short drop over the middle, underneath, out of first down and more, inside the 25-yard line. Great catch. Couldn't see who made it, but a nice pitch and catches. You said it, Levant. Efficient, easy passes that move the chains.
And when you have receivers that are able to grab the ball and run after the catch like that, you know you got to space out the defense a little more with them, and you know they're going to make some plays.
Here's Murray, and he's blown up again. Whoa, he shook a blocker. He shook 2, and the third man brings him down. A heroic effort from Warren Murray, and he still lost a yard.
Well, sometimes you just can't be giving your running back that much work to do. You got to give him at least some space for him, some air for him to breathe so that he can run, you know?
And the right side of the Indianapolis defensive line, the left side of the Indianapolis defensive line have been doing that all day. And Murray's been hit so many times when he's done that. But this time a diving attempt is incomplete at the 5. Pressure came up the middle from Eric Riley, and Johnson was forced to release that a little bit early. It looked like it was intended for Fed again, down near the 5-yard line, and the diving attempt is incomplete.
That little hurry there just changed the timing just enough for him to sip it too soon and with a little bit too much force under the ball.
Another long third down to keep the drive alive from the 26-yard line. It's 3rd and 11. Johnson. Pressure coming. He rolls out and he goes down. Indianapolis sack. Big play. 56. James Gunn. His 3rd tackle for loss in the game and his 1st sack.
Well, I don't know what the tackle there was doing, but it looked like he was waiting for him to engage. He didn't really seem very active there and let Dunn free.
And another trip to the... Wait a minute. Oh, no. It's a punt. Oh, they driven him back out of field goal range. It's 4th and 20. Another trip to the Indianapolis side of the field comes up empty. They will pin Indianapolis back at their own 2-yard line. What a punt. Brian Adams says, anything you can do, I can do better, but it's definitely not the option that Houston wanted on this drive.
Yeah, 3 points really wouldn't have done too much for them there. I still would have liked to have seen them take it, but, they could get 2 here, possibly, if they stuff Drew.
Drew, Swearingen and company going to have to work out of the shadow of their own end zone. 1st and 10 of the 2. 3:31 to go. Oh, Swearingen broke away from a tackle in the end zone and got 5 yards. Up to the 7-yard line. 3:23 to go, 3rd quarter and counting.
Well, they have a little more breathing room, but they're still not out of the woods yet. They're going to need a 1st down here to make sure that they're at least some type of safe.
Jake D'Antonio has punted out of his own end zone already today. I'm sure he does not want to repeat that feat. As Swearingen is hit behind the line of scrimmage and he's going backwards. He lost a yard. Great tackle on the play. Damian Hutchison came on the linebacker blitz. And Swearingen had nowhere to go.
So here's the thing. It's whether Indianapolis decides to pass or will they just run again and punt.
3rd and 6, they're going to trust Swearingen, and Swearingen's not going to get there. Got the yard back that he lost on the previous play, but he could not get past Eddie Gage, who I haven't really mentioned so far. In his 10th season in the Simulation Football League, one of the longest tenured players in the entire league, made the stop there, and a penalty. There's MeUndies Laundry on the field for the first time in the second half. We'll see what this is. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's encroachment on Houston. The drive is extended for Indianapolis on 4th down.
That's the worst case of indiscipline there. That's just a complete lack of discipline. You had them on the ropes there and you let them go. You let them finish the round.
And now the 1 yard picked up by Swearingen on the third down run makes a whole lot of difference because that gave them the 1st down via the penalty. Swearingen picks up 1 again on that run, and it's 2nd and 9.
And that's just honestly unfortunate. And you have to have, I know it's preseason, but you have to have at least a presence of mind to know what down and distance you're on.
And you've got them backed up to their own end zone to punt. I don't know why you'd be trying. I guess you maybe would be trying to block it as Swearingen gets the ball again and again. Is driven backwards as he looks like he's out of gas and he's slow to get up after being hit by Everett Garrison.
Well, I feel like now they have enough space behind Drew to throw. They should probably think about opening up their playbook and getting some of their other options involved here.
Well, they're going 4 wide, 3rd and 10 at their own 12. Drew in the gun. He takes the snap, he looks to the right, he throws that way, and it's caught, but short of the sticks. A tremendous effort to get 10 yards, but the extra 2 were not forthcoming for Leonidas Richards. And it's going to be another punting situation on 4th and 2.
This is only his second involvement so far in the game, but let's just look at how badly he had Rubens look there. He was way in front of him the whole time, had probably 4 steps on him.
But could not turn upfield and was driven out of bounds short of the sticks, and look at him on the sideline. He knows it, that he could have gotten so much more. But now, again, Jake D'Antonio wanted to punt. This time they'll get it away, and it was close to being blocked. Punt is in the air, fair catch called for by Leroy Brown at his own 44, and Houston will take over, down 17-3, 34 seconds to go in the 3rd.
That just seems to go along with Houston's luck so far. You have 2 people right in front of the punt and somehow can't get a hand on it.
Offset eye, receiver each side. 1st and 10 from the 44. Houston got to make something stick now as Warren Murray is driven back again. And again, they tried to run on the right side of the defense, and the defense was not having it. And it's another tackle for loss for Steve Vitak.
They keep trying to go on Indianapolis' strong side and just simply can't get around the edge.
They keep running to the right, and they are offsetting the eye that direction again. This time with 3 receivers on 2nd and 10. But this time, Johnson's going to throw. Johnson over the middle in a triple coverage, and it's caught! It's hauled in by D.R. Sim as the 3rd quarter expires. What a catch by Sim! And we've got 11 minutes to play. Put your 4s up in the chat. It's 17-3 Red Devils as the Hyenas are driving, looking to close the gap. This is the SFL Preseason presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. We will flip the field now. In Indianapolis territory are the Houston Hyenas at the 45. Johnson, short drop, throws near side. That pass is complete, and D.R. Sim will get 5 yards. Michael Trillo, Levant Mercer in the booth tonight. Lee Pardo on stats with us. Thank you for joining us and spending your Sunday evening with the SFL presented by APM Music as preseason winds to a close. We've got one more game tonight after this as Tallahassee visits Atlanta, and then only one game tomorrow night as Queen City visits St. Louis. That's 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Late handoff to Murray, and Murray's buried again. It's the same old song and dance, and Murray this time a little slow to get up.
This is the 3rd time they've tried to go for that draw play, and it's the 3rd time it's gone back for a loss.
Now 3rd and 7. Passing situation here for Kentez Johnson. In these kind of situations, he's looked towards D.R. Sim, when Josh Fedd is matched up one-on-one on the near side right. Deep drop for Johnson. He's looking for Fedd down the field, and it's picked off! He underthrew the receiver, and coming back the other way with it is Connolly, and Connolly is hit and dropped to the 38. 3rd interception of the game for the Red Devils, and this time that could be the nail in the coffin.
But just look at it again. You keep going back to the same type of play, and at some point Connolly's going to get a good read on Johnson. He did there. He had those go-go gadget feet. Just went up there and grabbed the ball and took it with him.
He was looking for Josh Fedd, one who had one-on-one side. couldn't come up with the ball, and Indianapolis takes it away again. Here is TD Drew out to the far side. Pass complete. Hunter Jones picks up 6 on first down. Into the fourth quarter now, under 10 to go, 9 minutes, 50 seconds left in this one. Quick chat shout-outs to BJ Lovelace, Eddie Gage, Carrion Miller, Jeff DK, Jeremy, Plague 7, AJ Levy, Gooner Bear, and everybody else watching us on the SFL Network on YouTube. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hand off, Swearingen up the middle, fighting through contact. He'll get 3. He'll fall just a yard short of the first down marker at the 47.
They're just trying to run the clock down here and trying to make sure that Houston doesn't have any opportunity to score or make it real difficult for them to.
High formation on 3rd and 1. Toss to Swearingen. Oh, there was a missed block, and Swearingen's buried in the backfield. Brick House, the blocking tight end who made such an amazing catch and run earlier in the half, tripped and fell over and missed his block. And that allowed the Houston defender to get up and smother Swearingen in the backfield when he had a hole to run through.
It honestly looked like
4th down.
It honestly looked like he had his foot planted into the dirt after he tripped and couldn't adjust.
Punt away from D'Antonio. And Leroy Brown will only get back to the 20-yard line on the return. 8.5 minutes left. Indianapolis does not punish Houston with the pick for anything other than time off the clock. Kentez Johnson looked better on that drive up until the pick, but he's got to look better here. He's going to throw on first down. He's going to score a screen to Warren Murray, who picks up positive yardage for the first time in a while. Warren Murray has done a lot of hard running, but hasn't picked up a lot of yards, and he probably feels hard done by his O-line.
Well, not only that, he also feels hard done by some of the play calling decisions so far today. Ran probably 5 draws, getting him no yards.
2nd and 9, 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Offset eye as here comes the Johnson throw. Johnson down the middle, tipped and almost intercepted again. Tanner Hendricks couldn't quite haul it in, but it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Well, Hendricks right there just jumped the route that time and had a great read. Played the ball perfectly there.
Now 3rd and 9 from the 21. 4 wide. Kentez Johnson alone in the backfield. Johnson, plenty of time, throws over the middle. Incomplete, knocked away. Paul Connolly was there to bat it into the air. Ray Washington was also there looking to make the interception. Couldn't come down with it, but I'm sure that the Indianapolis defense won't care 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, because they are going to punt it again, and the Red Devils will get the ball back.
Coming down with the interception there would just be piling on the misery. You would still want it as a defensive player, but you don't necessarily. You'll take getting the ball back either way.
Brian Adams punting from his own 10-yard line. He's seen the field a lot more than he probably planned to at the start of the evening. There's no return possible for Tanner Hendricks, and Indianapolis will take over from their own 39. I want to take this moment to remind you that ScoreStream is the official league live scoring partner of the SFL. Make sure to download the ScoreStream app from the iTunes or Android App Store so you can cheer, chat, and most importantly, stay up to date on all the fast-paced SFL action. Here is TD Drew. Goes to his receivers, and he was threw it to an unsuspecting Keith Swearingen, who dropped the ball.
And what I don't understand is we had a play like this in the first quarter. That was rule of the fumble. This time, same type of play. No call of any sort.
Let's go.
I think it's preseason for the refs as well here in the SF. they're allowed to miss one. It didn't really do much harm. It wasn't a turnover. Yeah, you're right. A very similar play, but a different call. Handoff. Swearingen up the middle. He'll get 3 before he's run to the ground by a host of red jerseys. Chief among them, B.J. Lovelace. Rodney Panani was in there as well. Everett Garrison also in the vicinity. Now 4 wide on 3rd and 7. T.D. Drew looking to use his arm to get out of the... He's got plenty of time. He's going to throw, and he threw it before the sticks. They got a couple of yards. But Carter Jones had no room to turn it upfield, and I know this grinds your gears a little bit, Levon, when you see, people throw under the sticks on 3rd down situations.
If you were Houston in that instance, you would be doing that. But Indianapolis has no honest to goodness reason to be doing that. And now they're giving them another chance.
Kick away from D'Antonio. Caught by Brown up to the 20-yard line. There's been solid special teams coverage from both teams tonight. No returns on kicks or punts ever really threatening to go back the other way.
But it's when you least assume that will be the case that one finally does break free.
Here's a single receiver each side. Houston from their own 20. 6:44 to go in the game. They're down 17-3. It's another handoff to Warren Murray, and Warren Murray buried. Behind the line again, loss of 4. This time it's Eric Riley making the tackle.
This right here is just a great example of your line moving the gap over for your linebackers to come in and swoop the running back away.
Now Johnson alone in the backfield. 5 wide receivers set. Johnson throws. One-on-one coverage. It's caught by Clifton. And out to the 37-yard line goes Yassine Clifton before he's finally driven out of bounds. Yassine Clifton coming in clutch for Houston this time.
Just look at the sheer difference here. It's just size and strength. Yassine Clifton probably covered by one person there and just absolutely mosses him.
And the trust from Kentez Johnson has in his tight end to throw a 50-50 ball matched up on Steve Vitak, and knows that the 6'7" tight end, yes, you heard that right, 6'7" tight end is going to go pick up that catch. And now here's Warren Murray loose up to get 9 yards.
I feel like it's still a little too late in this game to be running the ball like that, but
I mean, we've seen the speed that Warren Murray has when he gets in the open field. We saw it on that play, but he just hasn't been able to get there. And now on 2nd and less than a yard, Johnson, screen, and that is a first down and more. What a spin move! Mike Allen, the fullback, putting the defender on ice as he picks up yardage across the 50 to the 47.
He's trying to impress his teammates out there. Fullback's got moves too. He just hit him with that left and sent him to the right, from one side of the country to the other.
I don't play football video games all that much. Was that an X or a Y? I don't know. All right, another pass out in the flat. Sim gets a yard before he is driven out of bounds by Connolly.
I mean, if we're talking math, he put him from the x-axis to the y-axis, so I guess that works.
Yeah, we'll go with that. DR Sim impressive tonight. 7 of 9, almost 100 yards as they got this 4 wide plus tight end formation going again for Houston on 2nd and 9. Johnson surveys. Johnson throws near side, and he threw it to an out-of-bounds Leroy Brown.
Well, sometimes you just have to understand that's just your luck. 1 second too early, 1 second too late, doesn't matter the difference, incomplete. But if he was just a second sooner, he would have at least gotten some gain off that play.
John Boy 26 in the chat says that was the B button. I'll go. All right. I'll go with that. Here is Johnson. Steps up in the pocket. Throws to the far side. Pass complete to Sim. And he's just a yard short of the sticks. His momentum carried him out of bounds when he could not pick up the first. 4th and 1 at the Indianapolis 38 with just under 5 minutes to go. And I don't know if they're quite in field goal range here.
I'm not sure if they are, but we'll see. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Here we go. Big 4th down. They're sending out the 4 wide set again. This time the 3 receivers all the way to the far side left. Johnson, plenty of time. Soft zone over the middle. That's Yassine Clifton, first down. And that's the kind of play you draw up if you really want to be successful in short yardage situations. There's no time to rest, though, as here we go into the up-tempo offense. Kentez Johnson over the middle, and it's incomplete, knocked away by Von Senyuk.
No, Johnson's lucky he got away with that there because, you know, let's look at this play again. Let's look at where Clifton was. Right about here, that ball could have been taken away, but instead he plays the man and not the ball. And good thing for Johnson is, when that happens, it doesn't get taken away from you.
And the clock stops. You can settle down, think about what your next play is. It's only 2nd and 10 at the Indianapolis 31-yard line. 4:32 to go in the ball game. This time, 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Johnson over the middle, and it's almost intercepted again. Steve Vitak knocked it down, and there were 4 white jerseys there waiting for it, and only 1 DR Sim.
You know, I understand he's a Hall of Famer and all, but when you just see 6 defenders in one spot, you probably don't want to go there.
And now we've got more 4 wide action here. 3rd and 10. Johnson. Pressure. Hit as he throws. Knocked away. Big play. Dre Washington. And the drive stalls.
That right there is just when you get the wind literally taken out of your sails. He got hit hard, and that made the ball just peter out.
Indianapolis defense holds, and here we go. 4th down and 10, the offense is on the field. Johnson, back to pass, lofts it up, knocked away. He was aiming for DR Sim, and Steve Vitak said no, and the ball is turned over again.
Yeah, but you just got to look at this one here. Once again, thrown into double coverage, and luckily they played volleyball with it and not catch it, because that should have been an interception.
And with 4 minutes and 19 seconds to go, and you see DR Sim there saying, hey, I was double covered. There's got to be someone else on the field open. Handoff, Swearingen up the middle. Big hole to run through. Pick up 6 yards. Big hit at the end of the play from Jaden Smith. And now the clock will tick under 4 to go.
Now Indianapolis' 4-minute offense is going to be tested because they got to drain time off the clock, but they probably also want to score to make sure Houston has no hope of getting back in this one.
Offset eye behind T.D. Drew, who's under center, looked very good tonight in his SFL preseason debut. He'll toss it to Swearingen. Swearingen breaks the tackle and dives forward for a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the Indianapolis 39.
Yeah, he hasn't had the flashes today, but he's 12 for 17 for 119 yards. But he's been rather efficient, 70% on his completions, and he's done what he had to do.
As compared to Kentez Johnson, he's been slinging it all over the place. 28 for 44, 261 yards, but 3 interceptions. And now on 3rd and 2, Indianapolis looking to extend the drive and put more pressure on the Houston defense. Swearingen, a toss, an outside run, a first down and more to the Indianapolis 43. He's eventually wrestled down by B.J. Loveless, but a fresh set of downs for the Red Devils.
Well, they just knew their hat count there. They knew that there was less defenders on that side, and they decided to shift the play over to that side, and that was it. That's all it needed to do. That's all he needed
and as
to do.
we come down, sorry about that. As we come down to the 2-minute warning, this is the last game that the Indianapolis SFL franchise will play under the moniker of Red Devils. Remember, on January 1st, a brand new logo, a brand new name, a brand new brand for the Indianapolis SFL team will be revealed courtesy of Matt Doyle Designs, who has done an amazing job rebranding all of our teams in this league so far. As you see the Houston new logo on the screen, and all of the new logos have been pretty amazing. Levant, which one is your favorite as we hit the Quip 2-minute warning?
Quite honestly, I really love what they did with Las Vegas's Firebird. Quite honestly, I really love that it looks like a phoenix ascending. I also like the Nightwings.
17-3 and 2 minutes to go, and Indianapolis just slowly bleeding the life out of this Houston Hyenas team. Here's another pitch to Swearingen. Oh, he lost 5 yards on the play. That's the biggest loss by any running back in the game so far. Struck down by Eddie Gage on the safety blitz.
It seems to be his first or second tackle of the day there, but it came at a great time.
There was his second tackle of the day for Eddie Gage. Now 3rd and 15, and does Indianapolis throw or run here? With 1:57 to go, Houston has 2 timeouts. They're going to run and just burn some clock, and Swearingen loses another yard. And Houston burns their second timeout, so they're going to have 1 timeout and about 1:45, give or take, to make up 14 points.
So you're looking for a touchdown, a field goal, and you need an onside kick, and then any score after that would do it for you.
Stranger things have happened as the punt is away from D'Antonio. Gonna need a decent return here, but Leroy Brown can only get to the 26-yard line. So here comes Kentez Johnson for possibly the final time in this tune-up game for both of these teams.
Quite honestly,
Looking to just pad the stats a little bit. First and 10. No back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers. Dump pass over the middle, incomplete. It was off the face mask of Barry Bargains, who could not make the tackle. And I cut you off on the previous play. Levant, go ahead.
so more realistically, they would need a touchdown here, an onside kick, a touchdown again to tie.
And send us into a miraculous overtime segment, and they've got the formation out of the field to pick up big chunks of yardage on 2nd and 10. Johnson throws short again. This time it's a diving catch made in the middle of the field by Josh Fedd. And they have to burn their final timeout with 1:39 to go.
I don't like the play call there. You know all those out routes that every team has been doing today? That's what they should have been calling now, so that they can go out of bounds to save that timeout and also stop the clock.
Well, they stopped the clock, but they had to use the final timeout. And now with 1:39 to go. Johnson back to pass, throws near side, complete to Josh Fedd, but he stays in bounds. Tackled by Connolly.
You got to get on the ball here. You really got to get on the ball here.
And they're not going to go no huddle with 1:20 left. I think they understand that this game is pretty much done and dusted. 4th and 2, the offense is out there. They need to get to the 36-yard line. And a throw to the near side, complete, tapping the toes, is Leroy Brown will pick up the first, gets out of bounds, clock stops with 1:09 to go. Final chat shout-outs of the night to Eddie Gage, BJ Loveless, Kansas Phoenix, Plague 7, Jeff DK, Carrion Miller, and everybody else watching on the SFL network on YouTube tonight. Remember, don't go anywhere. Do not change the channel. We've got one more game for you tonight on YouTube. As Johnson over the middle, deep down the field, incomplete. Steve Vitak was there to deny DR Sim an impressive catch. And it's 2nd and 10. And Matt, tonight at 9 Central, Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson have the call to take you through Tallahassee and Atlanta. That's coming up in just under a half an hour, so stay right here and catch all the action. 1:05 to go. Johnson short drop, short throw over the middle. That pass is complete, 9 yards to, yes, DR Sim on the catch. 2nd down and 1. They'll go up tempo with under a minute. Johnson, screen. Murray breaks a tackle and then gets clobbered on the secondary hit. I'm trying to figure out who made that hit. It looked to be Dre Washington, the corner. And a spike from Johnson with 32 seconds to go.
At this point,
just a reminder that oh, go ahead, Lamont.
At this point, you really want to just be targeting the end zone now. You have no choice but to go for the end zone here. We're running out of time.
Only 32 seconds to go. Yeah, reminder that the SFL's 12th season starts Thursday night with Baltimore taking on Alaska. So do not miss a moment of the opening week. Schedule forthcoming on Wednesday. That pass was caught by Barry Bergens, and here comes the up-tempo again, 20 seconds to go. Johnson back to pass. Johnson to the near side, caught, and Josh Fed cannot get out of bounds. Clock ticking down to under 10 seconds, and I think that'll do it. And then maybe they can get one more play off and try and score a touchdown at the end of the game. They will spike the ball with 2 seconds left, and they'll have one shot at the end zone.
Yeah, that seems to be about it. They've tried all they could, but, you know, inaccuracies throughout the course of the game, inaccurate throwing, inaccurate defending, has just been what has plagued them, and they will need to go back to the drawing board, as you see there, that quarterback rating.
Not the best tonight for Kentez Johnson. It is only the preseason as he moves to the pocket and throws the ball out of bounds. Ball game over. Indianapolis wins. They send the Red Devils moniker out with a 17-3 victory over the Houston Hyenas. Stats and highlights scrolling across your screen, but that'll be all from us. For Lee Pato on stats and my broadcast partner Lavont Mercer, I have been your play-by-play commentator Michael Torillo, saying stay right here for Tallahassee and Atlanta coming up next. But for us, we will see you next time.
See ya.